All right, round 4 of qualifying. We're here with Kody Newmandahl. You had an awesome run just a minute ago. I watched it with your dad. We were all rooting for you and really waiting to see what's going to happen. So you want to walk us through your perspective?
Yeah, that was a really good run. Kind of the first clean run I've had since we've been here, and that's really all it takes as long as your stuff's working well. So keep it on the wheels. One more qualifier tomorrow morning. See how it shakes out. So.
Right, right. All right, you want to go through the other rest of the top A qualifier?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, basically, Jared crashed out. He's got 2 TQs. Neil kind of picked up the pieces there, and he was able to run one of the better times, I think. He's still got the 18 laps. Neil's real comfortable. That's his second TQ. We got, in second, we had
Spencer.
Spencer, yeah, he got another second. So he's got a 2-2 and a 3. He's throwing away a 4, which Kody would like to have, and I think a lot of other people would like to have. But Spencer's on a roll. I told him to just keep hammering down on it if he's comfortable, and those guys are really doing well. Jared seems to be TQ or just kind of a crashing out, so it's basically going to come down to the last round of qualifying now to determine who's going to TQ overall, and it should be exciting.
Yeah, I was watching, and Spencer led for a good amount of time, and then he actually ended up and just barely, Neil edged him out with a 18.5-15.7 and a 5.15.9, so it was really touch and go right there. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at down the list there, I mean, I think Mayfield was in second for quite a while in that race. He landed on top of the tabletop. The car took a weird bounce. He had to be turn marshaled. He dropped all the way down to the field. And then, I was waiting for the car number 6 to come back on the scoring board, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, here he is. And he was about 1 lap away from moving back into third, and then he crashed through the rumble strip things and basically took him out of being a top contender there in that race. And I think he finished with a 9 for the round, so now he's got a 2, 9, and a 10. So he's kind of one of the guys with Kody that's hoping for one more good run to put them solidly in the A.
In the other qualifiers, Malin was doing awesome in hers. Yuna won his again. So, and then in the other one, Dakota had some good laps. He was leading for a while, but he didn't end up keeping the lead. So.
Yeah, Dakota was amazingly fast. I mean, it looked like he had actually toned it down a smidge, and then had one crash, and you're like, okay, now he's on an 0.2 pace. He crashed again, and you're like, okay, now this might be over. Then he crashed a third time, and it was really, truly over. So I think his shot at the A-main's gone now, along with a lot of other guys. We're kind of narrowing the field down now quite a bit. It's looking like Jared or Neil for TQ. Spencer's looking to start maybe third if he can keep that going. And then I think we got 4, 5, 6, 7s between Cavallari, depending on what maybe Jorn could do. There's some guys that are really kind of bunching up right there behind it, and Cavallari hasn't really ran his best yet, and I think if he could go out and run one of his best runs, I think he would probably be right up there in the 4th position. So I think that's probably what he's maybe capable of, and then so that's probably what to look for, and I think you'll probably see a good run from Mayfield in the morning, and maybe kind of put himself right in the bottom part of the field, but right there with everybody else.
All right. Any last words, Kody?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what Jason said. You got a couple guys that are solidly running good each round, and then a couple other guys that are hit and miss, and there's even a couple of guys that are starting to find their pace. You got Lee Martin that time ran fast, and Jorn's been going faster each round. So, I mean, we'll see. But, yeah, the top 3 is pretty set here. Neil, Jared, one of those 2 for TQ, and then Spencer's going to be third. So,
yeah, a lot of familiar names all over again, huh?
As a kind of a designer racer here, what are you seeing with the different cars? I mean, basically a lot of people went with the same kind of configuration with their car. The only one that's really noticeably different is Jared running sort of the hybrid type 2-wheel, 4-wheel kind of car. What are you seeing from a designer standpoint on the track and how things are working?
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of the similar layouts, and Jared's running the hybrid style car, which is kind of like a 4-wheel, 2-wheel mix, and it's really fast. Maybe a little bit harder to drive, which is why you're seeing the up and down more than some of the other guys, but definitely the speed potential there. So we'll see how it shakes out. It kind of depends on the track conditions. It seems like in the morning it maybe starts out a little slower, and then the speed gains throughout the day. So.
What are you seeing from your buddy Dustin from Colorado? You guys are connected a little bit. He's had like a little bit of a down year to some respects for him, but at the Worlds here he's running pretty well. It's consistent. What are you seeing out of him in his new car?
I'm seeing like a lot of improvement. He hasn't gotten to race on this kind of stuff in a while now. He didn't get the chance to come to the warm-up race or anything like that. So he's one of the guys starting to get his stride. He got an 05 that time, so he definitely threw in a top 10. That's really all it takes. You get another top 10, and you can be right there with a shot to make the main still. So.
All right, awesome. That wraps it up for this round. So we got one more round tomorrow.